A very good afternoon from the city of Warsaw. I am at Warsaw East station, where I arrived about 10 minutes ago by train from Krakow. And to be honest, I'm pretty nervous. I'm going to make a trip that I thought I wouldn't make for many years to come, but I decided to do it anyway. It was scheduled for 3 years ago. Back then it didn't materialize because of reasons I'll explain shortly, and you probably know when I say where my destination is. And my train is ready for departure again. There it goes, all the way to the Baltic Sea.
This is the Express Intercity Premium EIP 3840. I took it from Krakow earlier to make my connection onto the Kyiv Express later today. This train will continue to Kołobrzeg at the Baltic Sea coast in northwestern Poland. I'm going the opposite way though, due east to Kyiv, Ukraine.
I need to get settled first. I need to get some food because there is no food service on the train. It's a sleeper train of about 16 hours. So let's get it sorted first, and after that I'll update you further. There is one shop on this side. I haven't been to the other side, so let's walk over and see what we can get there. My train is not aboard yet because it's about 2 hours away. I have a Costa coffee, a bit of a grim tunnel. Okay, this is the better side of the train station. The ticket kiosks, another convenience store, and a McDonald's nearby. And McDonald's is a food court. There's a KFC as well. But the thing is, I can't really bring it on board of my 16-hour train ride, so I have to find a solution for that. 3 hours to go. I'm in front of the train station, enjoying the views a bit, because, well, what else you can do at the train station here at Warsaw East. I'm at the bus station right in front of the train station, or at the backside I have to say, and I'm walking around this station nervously for at least an hour now, and I still have over an hour to go. Why would you ask? Well, I've got to take a sleeper train. That's not the real reason. I'm really nervous. I've done that before. It's the destination of this sleeper train. I am on the IC68 from Warsaw to Kyiv in Ukraine. And yes, that's why I'm nervous. I only have travel plans to get into Ukraine and into Kyiv. I don't have anything planned after that, basically because I don't know what to expect or where I should go or can go. That's something I'll figure out tomorrow and the day after when I'm meeting up with the local that is going to show me around. I have my travel options wide open. I should be able to return, although I don't have any insurance because I'm traveling into a red zone. That's something to keep in mind for myself. I have to try and be as safe as possible. That means I have the Air Raid app installed on my phone. I have 2 SIM cards that are active. I have my Indonesian one that I've activated again, and my Dutch one. My first hotel will have a air raid shelter, as well as the second hotel I have. That's something you really want to check up onto. And I need to get a quick meal in before I'm boarding the train, as the IC68 doesn't have any onboard catering or restoration wagon. It's a 16-hour drive, so I need to get some food in, and then I can live off my snacks and bread I brought earlier, and the cookies I brought from the Netherlands. That's a long introduction. Let's get onto it.
My trip on board the IC68 sleeper train, also known as the Kyiv Express, is a 16-hour trip into an active war zone. I probably don't have to tell you that you travel here entirely at your own risk, and you should not rely on any help from your embassy if things go south. You most likely also can't ensure traveling through a war zone, so do take the precautions you want to take and prepare yourself to be on your own once in Ukraine. That said, the IC68, as it's called nowadays, has been operated in one way or another since mid-2009. Except for COVID-19 travel restrictions, and currently consists of a number of Polish cars for seated passengers and Ukrainian sleeper cars that are clearly much older. It is operated by Ukrzaliznitsia and undergoes a change of bogies at the border crossing because rail gauges in both countries are different. I'll be in the sleeper car for this trip.
Yeah, you probably can't read it, but it says Kyiv. These are the seated carriages, and the other one are the sleeper carriages. I am all the way in carriage 1. Hello, good evening. Carriage number 1.
Паспорт, будь ласка. Нідерланди.
Yeah. 58-2. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
After that short document check, I was allowed to board and find my place. As there are 2 numbering systems, that wasn't as straightforward as it could or should be, but I made it to my berth anyway. I had some time left to settle down before departure on this adventure to Ukraine. Follow me on this journey by subscribing to my channel and giving a like to this video. You can also leave a comment, which helps with the algorithm.
Oh yeah, thank you. Hello.
Украина у нас высокая. Я говорю, блин, когда я была высокой? Поднимай.
There we go. To Kyiv.
A quick look around the cabin before we really get going. My cabin was full, with 2 other non-Ukrainian passengers also making a trip to Kyiv. All the basics are here, from power outlets to chain locks, personal light, double seat numbers and warm blankets we didn't need as it was still summer. The middle bunk is used as backrest for the time being. We would convert it into a bed later in the evening. Dorohusk is the last station in Poland before crossing the border over the Bug River into Ukraine. We were stopped here for a bit, as there is one standard gauge track here, while the other one is Ukrainian broad gauge. Both run the entire length between Chelm, a bit to the west from Dorohusk, and Yahodin in Ukraine.
Nothing is happening here. We have just crossed the border into Ukraine and had the Polish checks. And we are probably soon arriving at the Ukrainian border checkpoint. I want that stamp in my passport. Let's see if we get one.
At the Ukrainian station of Yahodin, the European standard gauge rail stops and we need to change bogies to be able to continue our trip. This takes a while and allows for Ukrainian customs and border checks. Jacking up the cars one by one, then removing the standard gauge bogies, replacing them with Ukrainian broad gauge ones, takes about 3 hours. But since it's late at night and you can't leave the train, it's best to tuck in for the night if you're not interested in all this hard work. But if you're sleeping, you might be woken by a railroad worker that needs to do something in the floor of your cabin as you ride on top of a bogie. Also, customs and border checks don't wait until you've woken up again. This might be a rude awakening at a random time during the night.
A very good morning. It is just before 8 o'clock. Most people are still asleep. And we are heading towards Kyiv. Last night the border checks took about 3 hours. That included the change of wheels that we had. And just after 3 we left the border area. I got some sleep for a few hours and woke up 4 hours later. It is pretty cool now. I closed my window because the breeze was really chilling my feet. No smoking on the train. That's a lot of suitcases. I don't think it's a good idea to run all to the train. I might do that later, but I don't want to disturb the people that are sleeping over there and sitting. But, also, there is no restaurant carriage on this train. Let's walk back.
Not sure if you can see me, but this is my bunk bed. I have 2 other passengers here. Both are still sleeping, I think, so I'll let them be. As said, it's 8 o'clock. We have about 3 hours to go. Not sure if we are delayed, but we'll notice soon enough. So, what about the views, you say? Well, European style forest. A lot of it. As we make our way further into Ukraine, we see small villages and clusters of just a few houses and sidings. A lot of sidings where freight trains stop to let us pass. Landscapes here are varied, with forested areas and agricultural fields covering the region. I guess being the breadbasket of Europe is a result of this. Every once in a while we make a short stop at seemingly random places. But when you look outside your window, you will most likely see a rudimentary platform, often made out of sand and gravel, but complete with little stairs and a station building somewhat away from the track and platform, like the one here. This is the station of Ommelyanivka, in the rural area of Zhytomyr Oblast. Yes, it does exist. The station is actually located in the village of Horshchik, with the station of that name just to the east of here. It's not too far away from Ukraine's capital of Kyiv, but probably you've never heard of them. Neither did I before I traveled here. And oh, before I forget to mention it, I paid €109.29 for this trip. As we are closing into our final destination of this 16-hour ride through the entire western half of Ukraine, we are seeing a lot of old and historic stuff along the tracks. Rail yards are filled with rolling stock from different eras, but they're mostly old though. Among the parked passenger cars there are rows of bulk freight cars and the old building in between. When filming an upcoming river, I noticed that every bridge our train crosses would have a military post on both banks. Now I can't show you exactly that because of obvious reasons, so I have blurred out what is there exactly, but the positions themselves are out in the open for everyone. These ones are in people's backyards, for example. We have passed Irpin and we are about to roll into the city of Kyiv. These seem to be storage units or shops. There's a roof on the car on the roof. Curving through the western suburbs of Kyiv, we can see the front of the train from the very back of the train before we dive into another curve. And just like that, I'm getting off a train in an active war zone. The sun is out, the skies are clear of Russian shite, but all that might be over in a matter of minutes, as we all know from almost 1300 days of full-scale invasion by Russia at the time of recording of this video. It's time to get to my hotel and start exploring the brave city of Kyiv. What this will bring me, I'm not sure, but I hope you follow me along my journey to parts of Ukraine by following me here, and don't forget to activate that notification bell, of course. As for my trip rating for this sleeper train between unbordered life and a country under attack, I have the following points. Ease of booking. I booked my ticket through the website of Polish rail company PKP Intercity. Booking through the website or app of the Ukrainian railways does not work for this route. You can book 20 days out. 5 stars. Level of comfort. The 3-person cabin is not very spacious, but when the beds are made, you're comfortable enough for the ride into Kyiv. You can stack big or additional suitcases in one of the door openings of your car if needed. 4 stars. Time traveled. Because the skies over Ukraine are closed, only land transport options are available, of which this train is one of the more comfortable ones. It also takes about the same time as traveling by bus. 4 stars. Cleanliness. Bed linens were in a bag when I arrived. As there is no catering on the train, passengers tend to bring their own food in durable containers. The train was kept clean during the trip. 4 stars. Price comparison. My ticket was about the same price as a bus ticket on the same route at the time of booking. But that would have been a much less comfortable trip, I think. 5 stars. Meal service. Not provided. Coffee and tea were available though. 1 star. Altogether a very decent ride on the older Ukrainian sleeper car section of this train. Would do again if I needed to.